Welcome all to my grammar class. We are going along with direct and indirect speech. I was explaining you about the rules how the direct speech is changing into indirect speech. In that, rule number 1. Will we were doing for shall and all, and rule number 1 a little more continuity is there. That is, will is changed into would, shall is changed into should, can is into could, may changes into might, has, have changes into had, am, is, are is changing into was and were. This is rule number 1, continuity. Rule number 2. If the reporting verb is in the present or future tense, then the tense of the verb will not change. Not changed in the indirect speech. Under that I have given some examples. He says, quotation, I write a letter. It is a direct speech. To change into indirect speech, he says that he writes a letter. That is indirect speech. Next is, he will say, inside the quotation, I write a letter. It's given in present tense. Direct speech. And changing into indirect speech, he will say, this is a feature. The introductory verb is feature. So, future tense, there is no change. Therefore, he will say that he will write a letter. That is indirect speech. Rule number 3. That is, if it is a statement is an assertive sentence, the conjunction that is used after the reporting verb. The connective word we use, that. The conjunction is used, that. He said, I am happy. That is a direct speech. And when it is changed into indirect speech, he said that he was happy. The rules followed for the change after removing the inverted quotation follows as it is. Indirect speech. Then rule number 4. That is, the first and second persons in the direct speech should become third person when writing into indirect speech. Example, he said, I watched a film. That is direct speech. He said that he watched a film. The present tense verb changes into past tense. That is indirect speech. Next example, she said, you are all active. It is direct speech. Changing into indirect, she said that they were all active. The person changes. That is indirect speech. Now there are certain changes, the pronouns, how it is. First person, second person, changing into third person, I have written here. I is changed into he or she. We is changing into they. You changes into plural means they, singular means he or she changes into. Then my is changing into his or her. Our, their. Your changes into their, his or her. Me changes into him or her. So, with that, the rule number 4 completes. And rule number 5. If the person addressed to reports the speech, the same person reports the speech, the second person in the direct speech becomes first person in the indirect speech. Keep in mind that if the person addressed to reports the speech, then this will occur. Second person in the direct speech becomes first person in the indirect speech. Example, she said to me, you are a liar. It is inside the inverted quotation. It's a direct speech. She said to me that I was a liar. That is indirect speech. So with this, we wind up here and we shall continue after a short while with the remaining part of the rules. Thank you.